Do you try to keep politics out of your show?
Jason, I don't try to keep politics out of my show. That's not where I go. I just don't go there. Right. I can bring in a couple of things that are, that represent the moment in time and pop out a couple of things. But I don't. You don't know where I stand politically, although you know where I stand on social issues. That is to say, gay marriage and all the transgender stuff. I'm very, very liberal on that stuff. And I was never afraid to say that in front of my maybe more conservative core, but not politics. That's just a choice. I mean, you start to say where you are politically and people can shut down, and that's not doing them any favors.
Yep, I know that firsthand.
Okay.
You've seen my Facebook posts, I'm sure.
I was about to say, I have seen your Facebook, Jason, and you see a lot of people shutting down in those comments.
Yeah, well.
Yeah, and have at it. But also, that's just not I'm not going, I don't want to get into politics. That's blah, 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 Trump, Biden. No, I just don't naturally have that intelligence or thing. I don't. If I did,
it's not on your radar, kind of.
Not on my radar. If I did, I probably would still choose to not go there in this business. But smart. I don't have it.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense to, as a creative, what you're doing, you don't necessarily have to bring that in. That's not your area. Whereas like other fields, I mean, politics is everything. It is so there are lots of fields where you have to let that in because out of necessity. But yeah, I can see entertainers, you can make that choice whether you're gonna go there or not. But it's interesting that you let people know where you stand on social issues too. How does that play with a very conservative audience?
When the gay marriage thing came down, I had a great joke. I can't tell it to you because I forget it, but it was really good. It was right down the middle. It was basically saying, don't throw the stone, you know what I mean? And it worked. By the way, if you have 2 hours of material and you're only doing 30 seconds of that. Yeah, I mean, I have a whole routine about Priuses. So that's the conservative getting after the Prius, but even the people that frickin' drive Priuses are dying laughing. And I see them, you got a Prius, and then they go off. And I have a whole routine about rich white people. And I go, it's not cool to like rich. This is paraphrasing. Not cool to like rich white people. Blah 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 blah. I say I'm a rich white guy, and you can feel it to somebody. We're all rich to somebody. The homeless guy sleeping on the concrete, on the sidewalk, looks across the street to the homeless guy who's sleeping on the collapsed refrigerator box inside a sleeping bag and says, look at that rich homeless guy. And then that routine goes on to skiers. I grew up in Stowe, Vermont. So I grind the edges off by saying, I know it's not good to say that there's only rich white people ski, because then it's saying other type of people don't. I'm not saying that. I'm saying predominantly, I'm from Stowe, Vermont. It's rich white people. And then I go on and on about it. I was at a ski event, 18,000 of us at the rich white people standing at the finish line. I was looking around thinking, if I was looking for gluten, I'd be screwed right now. That event was so rich, the snow looked beige, So I fuck with rich white people, because most of the people in my audience aren't rich white people. And if there are rich white people in the audience, they don't mind because they're fucking rich. And I could say that. I would say that right on stage, and it's comedy. So I guess it's how you present stuff. That's not to say you say stuff and people will take it the way they want. And whenever anybody has had a problem with my stuff over the years, mostly early on, I would never go, no. You're wrong. This is what I mean. What I would say is, if that's how you heard it, that's what you heard, and that's what that joke is to you. And I never apologize. So I'm sorry if I offended you. because I'm fucking not sorry if I offended them, because they chose to be offended. What I will say to them is, here's the joke written out. Look at it. And if so, once you start with something that somebody wants to get their ears pricked up on, they automatically hear what they want to hear. But if you write it out, they'll see that it's deftly written as to not offend.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think people like honesty and sincerity more than anything else. And if you offend them, you're not going to make everybody happy. No one really can.
Right.
Yeah. I feel like not every comedian or performer is for everybody. And, and part of the whole nature of being a comedian is like pushing the envelope or making people think in different ways. So I very much agree with it's okay for you to push those limits there, because you're at a comedy show. You're not like, this is not like the nightly news or, other avenues where it's maybe not okay to push the envelope like that.